The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent. How you guys doing?
DropTop. Zaza.
Okay.
We gon' pull up in some Tahoes. Fill with my niggas and bitches. They don't get money, the motto. Shredding waves like I'm Otto.
Hello. Back with another new episode of the StyleBeasting podcast with your host, Delton Wall. And we're back on episode 75. And this week is nothing really cool, nothing really crazy happened, except my patience was tested on a multitude of times this fucking week. It was fucking trying to get my medicine and shit. That, boy, I'll tell you this, man. Fucking, I can't wait till I'm off this fucking, at least this my diabetes medicine. I can't wait till I'm at that shit. But I probably got to still take this damn depression medicine. This shit's taking forever to get myself. This shit is taking forever to get delivered to me too. And hopefully tomorrow I can get this discount through. But yeah, man, like fucking, that's one thing. Like, I feel bad for people who have to get like medicine, like my mom. Like, you guys got, she gets her medicine delivered, but like people who have to go into CVS or Walgreens and wait, man, that shit's for the birds. I was sitting there for like 30 minutes and them niggas didn't know that they were supposed to give me my medicine, because they looked at me like I was crazy. And I was like, damn, bro, like, y'all niggas, like, I called y'all niggas at like 11:30, and you guys said be here at 3, and I'm here at 3 o'clock. Y'all niggas still ain't ready. Them niggas weren't ready till like an hour ago.
Man, you stupid bitch.
And I'm like, and it's like 6:30. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with y'all niggas? And I'm recording this Sunday. No, Monday. I'm recording this Monday. Fucking this shit. I was like, damn, y'all niggas is just trifling. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all niggas? Like, seriously. But I'm not gonna get on them too much. I know it's a hard job because there's a bunch of old people where I stay at, and I know that there's two pharmacy, like doctor patient care medical places near my area. So I know that a bunch of people just going in and coming out. So I already know that they're backed up. So I know it's not on them because shit just gets out of hand. It was just a lot.
Basura.
But other than dealing with fucking getting my medicine delivered back and forth through fucking departments and shit, I think I'm slowly realizing, I think I'm understanding kids a little bit more than I once do. And I'm gonna put this in context because if not in context, it sounds crazy. So a friend of mine needed help talking to this kid because he was having like a bad day or whatever. And when I looked at him, I was like, damn, not because like when she told me the full story or whatever, like it sounded like a story out of my childhood. And I was like, oh shit. And the way he was acting was like a literal mirror image of how I was acting. So I had to like sit down with him and like console him and like give him the full scope of the situation. Because as a kid, you don't really understand how life works. You just think that this life just happens and shit just goes. But that's not the case at all. Sometimes life is a piece of shit and there's no if and buts about it. It's just life's just shitty at times. Now, does that mean your whole life is going to be shitty? No. But it does mean a good number of situations might be shitty because of how the world works. Now, like I said, me personally, I don't think you could change the way life is for you, you can't change the reality of the world, if that makes sense. Like, if I'm trying to think of an example. Okay, so like this: if you if you stop spending your money on bullshit, you'll have more money and you won't complain. Now, you can't change the reality of the rich steal from the poor. You can't change that unless you just talk about a toppling of a whole government and other shit. But if you're talking about you and your personal domain and your realm of your house in your life, yeah, you could change some stuff like that. You could change the way you eat. You could change the way you go about your day, or the way you interact with people, or you just in general. So I think that gets lost too, and with myself too, and and actually it gets lost with everybody, because now thinking about it, I see a whole bunch of people on the internet just like thinking they like reality is going to change, whatever. But in a sense, it takes a lot more than that. But I understand what people's gripe is, because life sucks. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, hey man, life is the greatest thing ever. Nah, life is some bullshit at times. Life is some shit. But do you have to live in that shit? No, you don't. You can definitely get out and change anew and change for the better. And I was just basically trying to give him that to him. I don't know if he listened really, because I kind of do the same thing. I was doing the same thing when I was a kid. So I was his age. So yeah, I just want him to really understand, like him to understand, like, sometimes you have to go with the flow, even though it's not something you want to do. It's something that you have to. And that's really all I was going to want to tell him. And hopefully he understood. And sometime in the future, when he looks back at his life, he'd be like, oh shit, that one's right. Yeah. And I don't know. It just had me thinking of, like, I wish somebody would have told me of how the life work, or how crazy the world is. Because, and funny enough that academics brought this up, that some of the OGs don't tell you how the game is. And like I said, I ain't have any OGs really. So nobody really told me that, like, what life was. So I really didn't have like OGs around to tell me that. I just had to learn it myself. But yeah, I would say that, like, having an OG tell you, like, hey, don't do this, or hey, this is going to get you fucked up, is a good thing to have. But getting off Big Brother Delton and his, I guess, trying to be the Boys and Girls Club of America, we're going to go ahead and start the podcast. And we're going to start with the NFL, some NFL news and some NFL money bets I lost through the fucking week.
Play I just made won't make Sports Center.
So I'm 3-1 on my bets of last week. I lost literally, the only one I won was the fucking, was it the Ravens that won? No. It was the fucking Giants. That's against the Panthers. That's the one I won. I lost the Jets and the Browns bet. Fucking me thinking the Browns were going to beat the Jets. The Dolphins beating the Ravens. Man,
you stupid bitch.
I could have sworn that Lamar was going to beat that nigga. And the Commanders losing to the Lions.
Nani?
I was sick as fuck to that. I'm like, how the fuck did I lose? All those teams I bet on should have fucking won. And they all lost. And the Giants beating the Panthers made no sense to me. Like, I literally picked that team just so I could just have 3-1. But I just went the reverse. So I'm sick as fuck about that. But here's hoping my new bets for this week go good, because I got the Giants beating the Cowboys by 3 or a touchdown. I got them beaten by them. And
you were wrong.
I got Lamar winning his game, beating the Bills this week by at least a touchdown. So hopefully those two go through because I'm gonna be sick as fuck if not. Speaking of Lamar, they haven't paid that nigga at all. So either they're gonna because I think he got 2 years left. If I'm not mistaken, franchise tagging for the last two, and if they don't pay him at the end, then I low key think he should go to Atlanta. I was saying Miami because he's from Florida, but I think Atlanta might be ready for another black quarterback. And since he's really just putting up like Mike Vick numbers, like. And that his will actually low key almost better numbers than Mike Vick. I would damn near take that nigga, pay that nigga $30 million. Like low key, I'll pay Lamar Jackson $300 million and be you done with it.
Yes, sir.
And it shows that the Ravens have no hope in Lamar, which should be the polar opposite. Them niggas should have all the most hope in that nigga. He actually is getting better. If you look at his throwing, it's way better than it was last year. He's way more accurate. And to be honest with you, I think they're going to, if everything goes well, they might make it to the Super Bowl. I'm not even going to cap. For some reason in my heart, I have a strong possibility that the boys can actually make it there. Like, no cap.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
Now, their schedule ain't the easiest. It shouldn't be that bad. After looking at it, at worst, they're 12-5. And that's the worst. Best, they're at 14-3.
Maybe.
Because low key, I don't see them losing until they play the Buccaneers. Like, I don't see them lose. I don't see them losing up until the Buccaneers. So I see them winning like 9 straight before they get to them. Well, no, it'll be 10 straight before they get to the Bucks. But no. Knowing me, my luck probably would be bad, and I'm probably cursing them than helping them. The Giants, my old team, the Giants, they might be looking good. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So they added Saquon Barkley. I still don't trust Daniel Jones at all, like at all. But here's hoping they do something, man. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like Daniel Jones. I don't like as a quarterback. He's just not a good quarterback. But I'm gonna let him live and see what he can do. I'm gonna let him live and do that. And if they beat the Cowboys today, I might have some serious, like, I might change my mind. Now I'm still sticking to the Ravens. Well, Lamar Jackson until he leaves, if he leaves. But I'm gonna cheer on for the Giants. If they, I really am, because like I said, that's gonna be my second team, and that's really my only two teams: the Giants and the Ravens. I was a Giants fan for a long time, but like when they got Daniel Jones, I just couldn't trust them.
Cry me a river, Justin Timberlake.
But here's hoping they do semi well, or they do better. Hopefully, because I said if the Eagles gonna be probably best in the division. Hopefully the Giants are number 2.
Stupid ass niggas.
Hopefully, I really hope they are. The teams that made it to the playoffs last year might not make it this year. I think there's a changing of the guard because I feel like there's a lot of teams that's going to get. I feel like the team because all the teams got changed because some quarterbacks aren't there no more and they got traded or they asked for a trade, so they're not there anymore. Like. The Broncos right now, they beat the fucking 49ers by 1 point. And I'm like, that's not Russ, but I think it's the team. Because I love Russ. I love Russell Wilson. He's a good quarterback. He needs I think it's the team that he needs that'll help. That he really needs a good team to back him up. And I think the Broncos, long term, if they want to get him to stay, they're gonna need a really good squad. So here's hoping they get that man the team that he needs, because he desperately needs it. Because Russ is a man. That's a great quarterback, bro, to have. And I think he won a Super Bowl. If I'm not mistaken, I might be mistaken. No, he won a Super Bowl. That nigga won a Super Bowl. So yeah, you definitely gotta give him his props. They paid that nigga too. They paid that nigga fine, handsomely too. So, and I don't think Russ is one of them boys that would be like, "Oh, I got bag, and I'm just about to chill." Nah. So he'll work. He'll work with you. You just gotta work. You just gotta work with him too. But I think that's it for my fucking football takes for this week. Like I said, there's a bunch of games this week and a bunch of people that should win. Hopefully to God. And hopefully the Giants beat the Cowboys this week. Hopefully. But sticking in sports, let's get into the NBA topics. It's not that much news. So, yeah, there's not that much news. There's only like really just two things. Well, really just one. The other one's just not really that much to care about. So I might as well start that one. Dennis Schroeder's going back to the Lakers. Well, actually, yeah, I'll start in order because it's actually three. I forgot. Dennis Schroeder's going back to the Lakers for like $2.4 million when he could have gotten there, I think in 2020 for $88 million. So, and I don't know if it's true or not, but there was like this report on Twitter, so it's probably not, but it was said that his girlfriend talked him out of the $88 million and he could have got more. Basically your girl telling you you're worth more than what they think they're giving you. And at the time, I mean, I understand, like, hey, you're my girl and you want to see me do better. But $88 million on like a 3-year contract, I would have taken that. And at that time, Dennis Schroeder wasn't that guy. So you really can't be like, what are you gonna do? Be like, oh man, I definitely think I'm worth 120. Nah, he was definitely worth like 88. And low key, he could have gotten no, because they didn't make it to the playoffs. Probably if he would have stayed on, probably not this year, but next year, he probably could have gotten 100 if they would have did some shit. He definitely would have gotten 100 next 2 years. So yeah, I definitely feel like he was ready then to get the 100, but not at that time. So if the reports is true that his girlfriend giving the info, that was not the good info to give your boyfriend. But I understand what she was trying to do. Like at the end of the day, you want your significant other to be like to think highly of himself. And if you're playing on the Lakers, you're playing with LeBron, you're playing with AD, Melo, and like Ray. Yeah, you had to be the shit. And I think she thought at that time he was that nigga, but now he's that nigga, and well, not anymore because. But like I said, Dennis Schroeder is going to the Lakers. He's getting his shit together. So, and we'll see what they'll do this year. I don't know. Me personally, I don't know how they're gonna work it this year, but here's hoping they do. I'm not a Lakers fan. I really don't have an NBA team, to be real with you. So here's hoping they actually do. But in some good news, Charlotte has received the Jello Ball, the little oldest brother. And I'm like, okay, I see. That's some good shit. They got the other brother. And he's not bad. Now, I think he'll be a perfect compliment to LaMelo, a younger brother. which is gonna be good. So I think that's gonna be a great team dynamic there. And like I said before, we gotta put respect on the father ball pause. Yeah, the father ball pause again. For like he said, I'm gonna tell y'all this: all three of my boys gonna be in NBA. And what he said was, he was right. He was right. He was right. Now, I think they're gonna keep him, not like the Detroit Pistons who kept him on like 10 days and let him go. So, like I said, he's gonna be good. I think he's gonna do well. But I think Lonzo is going through knee surgery right now, so he's going to be out for like 10 months, like close to a year. So hopefully he gets through it and hopefully he gets by. But all the ball families in the NBA, and hopefully I want to see what they're going to be doing next year. Also, pause again. But in probably the biggest news of the NBA, Ime Udoka, the coach of the head coach of the Saints, got caught in a cheating scandal and lost his job for like a year. Now, the biggest thing isn't him losing his job, it is a big part because we don't know what the fuck's going on. It's the fact that he cheated and like nothing, there's no information. Like the only thing that we got, it was a consensual thing, and I think he was sleeping with a higher up's wife. So that was like really put the nail in the coffin. But the weird part is like he got fired for a year, but the women he slept with didn't. Now I understand, well, not got fired, but got in trouble, and I understand the wife of the guy who's a big money man. I understand she's not gonna get called out because he's money man. But the other one, yeah, you definitely should call him out because we don't know nothing's going on. We just got like random information that he just cheated and nothing else. And it's becoming like a whole male versus female thing again. And to me personally, you should definitely tell who the women are. Now, should he lose his job for a year? No, I don't think he should. And I don't think there's a bunch of people saying like, hey, he should lose his job because he slept with a coworker. Like, no, nigga, like he shouldn't have lost his job. Now, if he did something like bad, like he did something bad sexually, then yeah. But if he just cheated on his wife, no, I'm not gonna fire a nigga. Oh, you cheated on your wife? Oh, you're a bad person. Like, no, niggas cheat on their wives all the time. That means if you cheat on your girlfriend, you should lose your job? No. Now, the reason why it's public is because one of the ladies put it out there. Now, that's another thing too. He didn't put the information out that he cheated. She did. And it's like, damn, like nobody knows how to shut the fuck up in times. Like, so there was no power dynamic. So he's not like, oh, if you want to keep your job, you got to sleep with me. So there was no. So I don't understand what the husband probably found out. That's probably why. But nah, man, he shouldn't have lost his job. Now I don't give a damn if his wife is Neil Long. Now, just like all before, just because your wife's bad don't mean she's good as being a girlfriend or wife. Now, I'm not saying that about Nia Long, but I'm just saying that in general. Just because your girlfriend's hot don't mean shit. Your girlfriend could be hot and could be batshit crazy or an ignorant fuck. And I didn't even get involved in that whole discussion on the internet because it's a never ending thing between men and women hating each other on the internet. So I try to like my best to stay away from it. So I was just watching the jokes fly off, and not gonna lie, they were killing Iman in the damn comments. Like, I think one of them was J. Cole hitting up Nia Long, and it was just Stacey Spice Adams riding around in an orange car and getting out. But it was so funny. It was still funny. And everybody was like bringing up old shit of like niggas trying to hit on Nia Long or Nia Long being high. And I'm like, oh my God, bro. This shit is fucking hilarious. Like, it's die hard funny. Because I think, what was it? Like, niggas was brought up Nia Long when she was on Friday. I'm like, bruh, y'all niggas is low key out of pocket. Y'all niggas is posting everything that she was in and proving a point. Like, why would you cheat on her? And I think it was like other jokes on it too, and it was just super fun. But yeah, Iman, yeah. Hopefully this shit gets handled in one or two places, because me personally, if it wasn't in the rule book when it happened and they just brought this out, I'd be sick. If it was in the rule book, then I'd be like, okay, I understand. But y'all niggas gotta get everybody else. I'm snitching on everybody. Like, I'm snitching on everybody. Don't matter who it is. Unless you my mans, I can't snitch on you. But if I don't know you, nah, I'm snitching on everybody. Fuck it. Everybody about to lose their jobs too. And I'm major snitching. And niggas seem to care about where my man from the Celtics is putting his dick in, then they should be Brett Favre. Brett Favre took $7.7 million from Mississippi, the poorest state in the USA, but nobody's like really talking about it too. So I'm gonna need some coverage on that before I give a fuck about Iman fucking some random woman with consent. Like, if it was consensual, I give no fucks. Like, nobody was hurt, nobody was harmed. It was a look at by both adults, and everybody was like, okay, we're gonna have sex. Boom. That's not the only problem. Is that he cheated on his wife, and you broke a rule that was in a rule book, probably, maybe. And if it wasn't in the rule book, then eat a dick. So I'm on your side, Iman. I hope you get your job. I hope you either get your job back, or they give you more money, or because of this bullshit, or you just find a whole different coach job and they give you money. So here's hoping you get your shit. But that's all NBA, and I think we're going to get into the music, because I get a ton of music drop, a ton of like, I'm not going to really speak on the gossip. Just like, well, is it gossip? I don't know. It kind of, it's kind of is, because it's coming. Yeah, it is, because it's not coming from like factual things. It's coming from one person, and that one person is just saying it, but we don't know it's for sure. But I guess not. But let's just fuck it. Let's get into the music. So, Lucky dropped. Now, Joe's been trying to put me on Lucky for a good long while, and I like Lucky. Now, do I like him? Like, well, now is he like my top shit? No, but I do like Lucky, and I probably would. In Loki, yeah, he's actually in my playlist now because his album was solid. He dropped his album called Flawless Lucky. What is it called? Flawless Like Me. And the album's long. It's 24 songs, but it's like an hour. It's like almost an hour long. And I listened to it. Fire. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing because it's like a long list, but I would say this: the first 8 or 7 songs are hits, without going off of Apple's star shit. And I want to say from 10 to 17 is hard, and maybe the last 3 of the album is hard too. So it's a good 17 out of maybe 17, 18 out of 24. So that's a good rating. like I said, I've never really was listening to Lucky like that hard, but after giving this album a run through, after going for my daily jog, I was like, okay. I caught myself dancing more than walking, so I definitely am vibing to this album. Like, no bullshit. It's probably this is probably one of my favorite drops this week. And it's kind of funny because the baby dropped also. And funny enough, the baby hasn't done nothing in like 2-3 months. And by that, I mean he hasn't like gotten any shit. He hasn't like foot punched or gotten into any fights with anybody. But he dropped Baby on Baby too. And it's 14 songs. He's only one feature, which is Anthony Hamilton. And I like it. I've almost done listening to it. I think I'm on number 11, Call of Duty. But for some weird reason, nobody really likes the baby. And I can understand it. I don't understand it. I think it's the same thing with people just not liking him because of his antics. And I understand why. He has been, for the past 2 years prior, been like low key like the Hulk, really just walking around just going around just being mad aggressive with people, and niggas ain't really fucking with that, and people like to shit on his music, but I like his music, and that's another thing too. People shit on his music, but they blast City Girls, or they blast like some lame ass old ass KRS-One trying to rap a lot nigga. And not rap a lot of the records. I'm talking about niggas that's trying to be like, hey, we went to the park and we had fun. Like that kind of rapping type shit. And I'm like, all right, nigga, shut your damn
I want it that way. Tell me why ass nigga mother
old ass up. Or old soul ass up, I should say. But it's really the baby's like own, I guess, reputation and his own behavior that caused this rift between him and his fans. Because if you, on half the occasions, if he wasn't as violent as he was or did the stuff he did, then I guess people wouldn't have cared or be this harsh on him. Because I feel like people, when people don't like you, they just add on stuff just so it can like they can not like you even more. So if people don't like you because you're just a violent guy, they're just gonna add on, oh, his music's bad because he doesn't do this, this, and this. But other artists don't do this, this, and this, but they still get they get to scapegoat their way out for other artists, and that's not fair. So I wouldn't. That's totally not fair. So if you're gonna have to be that way with him, you gotta be that way with everybody. So people are fickle and people are emotions come into play a lot. So you really can't be like, well, no, you can say you get out your feelings, but people aren't going to listen. So there's no point.
True. And yeah, that's pretty true.
So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the baby can do really. His career is, he's not going to fail, but it's like, I don't know. It's hard for me to see what is going to happen because there's like a lot of women that don't like him, but there's a lot of people that do like him. Well, there's a lot of dudes that don't like him because of his flow and other shit, but whatever. But that is another topic for another day. Also, well, not in hip hop, but in music in general, Levine was wilding these past week and 2 weeks. But so let me start at the beginning. So a TikToker came out and said Adam Levine cheated on his wife to be with B, and then months later hit me up, say, hey, I'm gonna name my baby after you, blase blase. And at first people was on his side. People was like, yo, Adam Levine, you're trash. Why would you do that? That hurts your wife and all that, this and third. But come to find out, his wife is cool with it. His wife knew about the whole thing. She all the stuff that TikToker girl said was nothing new to her. She already knew. And that goes to show that, hey, sometimes you need to stop running your mouth all the time. And now the girl looks dumb for trying to break up their relationship when in all actuality he already told her. The only thing Adam V apologized for was really just for being in the eye of the people, because if the wife knew, then there was no reason for you to give a fuck if she knew, if the mistress knew. But now that your mistress told TikTok and the world, it was like, I gotta say I'm sorry. Even though your wife's cool with you still gotta say, hey, I'm sorry for putting it out there. So Adam Levine gets points, man. He gets some points because now that your wife knows, she's probably not gonna have the name after the baby. That's probably not. But she probably doesn't care about you cheating, as she already said and announced in I think a statement she had. So, hey man, you thoughts out here can't get up on Adam. He already had it. The only thing you did was make it public. And put their business on Front Street, which we didn't need to, but these hoes out here don't know how to walk out of that, right? So
True, and yeah, that's pretty true. That's true, and yeah, that's true.
That is what it is. And before you guys be like, oh, but why is Adam Levine cheating on his wife? His wife's cool with it. Well, why is he going to name the baby? He probably was wilding there, I will admit, but she doesn't care. Well, and in that statement, she didn't even, I don't think low-key she even mentioned anything about the fucking name. She was just talking about the cheating. So, Adam Levine, you get a round of applause for me for being that nigga. Because who would have thought that you can juggle two girls and one of those girls, juggle one while having a baby again, while being able to cheat and your wife don't care. And that's some real nigga shit. So, and you ain't cheating on your wife because your wife is not cheating because she knows. So you a real nigga for getting that off. So I fuck with you. And damn, I forgot the name of that Maroon 5 song. And she still be there because my wife not leaving me. Yeah, that song. Whatever the name of that song is, I'll have to remember it. But that's not the lyrics. But I just remixed it because it was funny.
Move this man!
Also in music, Babytron is dropping next month on the 25th. I think it's Ben Reaper 3. Yeah, Ben Reaper 3. So there's going to be a whole bunch of Detroit flows and Detroit music I'm going to be dropping on October. So be on the lookout. And I think that's it for music. Yeah, that's it for music. So now, since we're done with that, we're on the manga portions. So, my dumbass last week didn't speak on One Piece at all.
Stupid ass niggas.
That week prior. Yeah, it was a week prior. And then this new chapter that came out. Let's see. Oh, fucking 1060. So 1060 was really
Super!
I think, it was mind blowing. It's mind blowing because it started us off. Yeah, it started off with like Luffy not accepting that Sabo killed Cobra and kidnapped Vivi. And it was basically a rerun of the Alabasta. And it was just a redone of that with newer characters. Now, just like last time, Zoro is the cool head of the group because he's, instead of like worrying like they did all those years ago, it's him just saying, hey, if it was shit that we needed to worry about, we would have handled it. If they needed our help, they would have called us or something to help them out. Now, to that, I would be like, yeah, but that's how Ace died. if we want to go with that logic. Well, that's not how he died originally. It was his own hubris, but still, waiting too long fucks it up. And if they knew what was happening, they would definitely be on the run faster. But Zoro being the second in command, well, him being the calm, cool one, he's the one who would be, hey, everybody calm down. We gotta handle some stuff first before we do anything stupid. And Caribou's on a fucking boat again. But I don't know if they know he's on the boat because it's chained up. So I think they know he's on the boat, but nobody's like paying him any attention. So I don't know 100% unless he did himself. Now, the whole crocodile Buggy and fucking Mihawk thing, Luffy still doesn't believe because Buggy is Buggy. So it's not believe. It's the world's changing very fastly, very quickly in front of him, and he probably is not gonna believe everything that comes out. And I'm really getting tired of Oda like hiding stuff because the name of the chapter in 160 is called Luffy's Dream, and he tells his crewmates his dream, which we don't know what it is, but from what it's like, their reaction, it sounded like it was like the most childish thing ever, but it was like coming from Luffy, it makes sense. So in my initial thought, it's him wanting to throw a big party with everybody around the world at the same time, because that in every end of the arc is always Luffy throwing a party. Every arc. Yeah, at the end of every arc is Luffy throwing a party. And I feel like at the end of whatever the name of the last arc is going to be a big ass celebration. Because I think with the words that's been said in this chapter and the next chapter, it's a whole bunch of when I'm free, and it's a whole bunch of freedom getting spoken. So I'm in my initial thought is Luffy making the world free on some Malcolm X shit and trying to bring it together for a correlation of everybody just having fun. So me personally, I truly believe Luffy's dream is to have fun, have a big party, and everybody to have fun with each other. But other than that, more stuff happened in the chapter besides Luffy telling us this dream off panel. So funny enough, we go back to Sabo on this island that the government that turned its back on the government, and it's a litany of other countries that's turned its back against the country because of Sabo, the Flame Emperor. And it's weird that I say funny enough that he's on that island, because I initially thought it was the island that Ace and Blackbeard fought on, but I was wrong. It's an island that the government has been looking at for the past couple of weeks. And it's funny, it's also weird that Emu's in this chapter. And I'm not even gonna cat to you, Emu is weird. It's eerie as fuck in this chapter, bro. Like, he's always been eerie, man, because like only thing we see is like this hood with a crown on it, and that nigga's like built mad fucking slender. But off of that, Sabo is telling Dragon that he didn't kill Cobra, because apparently if Cobra was killed by Sabo was not going to be welcomed by Dragon. I think those Dragon and Cobra are friends, so that would make sense. Yeah, they're friends, so it makes sense. So Sabo also tells him that he saw somebody on the throne, which, if I'm not mistaken, he probably saw Emu on the throne. Because he says it in verbatim, he says the empty throne of Pangea Castle, the throne was supposed to remain empty forever, but there's no king of the world. There's no king of the world actually has, and it's almost getting cut off, but this big ass shining light is shining from the sky, and all you see is Emu's eyes, and then the whole island gets disintegrated by lasers. Now, me personally, I think it's Uranus, the planet, the ancient weapon. Now, people's been saying it might be a straw hat like UFO cannon, but and I'm not saying it is, but I understand because if you remember when we first saw Emu, we saw Emu on looking at a big ass straw hat, like a big stone straw hat. And it was just weird that it's just weird as fuck that Emu's looking mad weirder every time that nigga's on the page. Like every time that nigga's on the page, I'm like, bro, what the fuck is about to happen? Because this nigga Emu, bro, I cannot wait to see this nigga. If he is not scary, when I see this nigga, it's gonna ruin it for me. Cause now I had to put a funny face on that body. And hopefully it's not, cause God, man, that nigga is scary. Like scary. Like I hate seeing Emu. But me, I initially thought Saba was dead after that whole 16, but we don't see Saba's body. All we see is the island getting blown the fuck up. Me personally, I know Saba's not dead. Well, I thought Saba was dead. I was just joking, saying I Saba was dead, but when I saw the freaking but later on thinking, I was like, he might be dead. Only because, not because of the lasers. It's not because of the lasers, because he's on like the island got blown up. And and me personally, unless Sabo can fucking fly, uses fire devil fruit to fly like the Human Torch, then yeah, he's okay. Because it's not the blast that's gonna kill him. It's there's no fucking land to land on. Which that's the only thing that gets me. Because if he can fly, I'll be all right. I'm cool. So I'll just be like, all right, he's alive. Well, all right, cool. That's whatever. And the next chapter following, it's really no. There's a chapter in there, or am I tripping? No, because the chapter with the Emu laser beams is not the end of that chapter. We fucking find the Straw Hats in this reverse whirlpool in the middle of this snowy weather blizzard, whatever, in this blizzard. And when Chopper flies away and Luffy has to save him, fucking, you come to find out when when Zoro cuts the reverse whirlpool, that Julia Bonnie's in the fucking whirlpool. Now, that's crazy on two fronts. One, she was just in the Holy Land. Two, how the hell did you get from the Holy Land to here? And next chapter, we don't find out how she left the Holy Lands, but we found out why she's in that frozen place. So apparently, she's there for Vegapunk for whatever reason she never explained. But it's even crazier because that fucking chapter is named The Future Island Egghead. Now, a bunch of people is speculating that Egghead is probably the egg that's on Roger's ship. I don't think it's that, because the egghead on the island is like really gargantuan. It's like 100 times bigger than the egg that's on the ship. So once they save Julia Bonnie, the Straw Hats get set upon by robot Jaws. And when I mean robot Jaws, that this, all right, you know how the Jaws was when in the movie, how he was bigger than the average shark. The shark was literally like, the mouth height was like 10,000 sunny ships long. Like, I was like, what the fuck? That's a huge shark.
You were wrong.
And just like in One Piece Faction, I thought it was a scary shark. It turns out it's just a kooky looking shark, like with a funny face. So that nigga wasn't scary at all.
Oh, you are ass.
And I'll take back that too. The shark's mouth wasn't that long. Pause. It was just It was just the shark was a big motherfucking shark, not the shark's mouth. I was wrong.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
But other than that, the team had to fight against strong currents and giant robots of the sea. And people was giving them flack saying, oh man, this Yonko crew should have been able to handle strong waves and giant robots shooting at them. Nigga, all right, let's be honest. Half the team, more than half the team is like lightweight butt. And by lightweight butt, I mean trash almost. I love them, but let's be honest. Usopp's not fighting. Nami's not fighting. Chopper's barely fighting.
Basura.
Got your ass whooped tonight.
That's it. Frankie is not fighting on the ocean because he's got to steer the ship. And if he's not steering the ship, well, he has to steer the ship because fucking if it's a sea battle, then you're going to need Jinbei on there. And Sanji could fly a little bit. He could skywalk, and that's not flight. And Zoro can't fly. And Luffy can gear forward, but he can't gear for long. But so that's what I'm saying. Like, there's not a lot of options they have. Unlike a bigger Yonko crew where they have like fleets on fleets. And since Luffy didn't want fleets on fleets but with them, he had to like, well, he does, but he doesn't have them on standby.
True, and yeah, that's pretty true. That's true, and yeah, that's true.
Looking at how it's played, yeah, it's definitely not going to be looking good because freaking that you're not because with all that bullshit that just happened with the shark almost turning up the ship, Bonnie, Luffy, and fucking I'm forgetting that nigga name so fast. Chopper flew off the damn rails. You have Jinbei who has to jump in for him, and now the whole ship capsizes, and now everybody has to find a way to get saved and not die from drowning because Brook, Robin, Chopper, Luffy, and Bonnie are Delphi users. And since they're in water, it's not going to be the greatest option to be stuck in water. So thank God they have Jinbei. And to be honest with you, Jinbei is literally even though I hate that he's the third man on the squad and not Sanji, or Sanji and Zoro should be at the same level. It's definitely glad you have a fisherman on your team because if Jinbei was not there, the whole Luffy would have died. We would have lost Luffy chapter 160 and would have been done. And we wouldn't have to say shit. But thank God Jinbei got saved. Jinbei saved those three. And a giant robot in the ocean saved the rest of the Straw Hats. Which we find out from Bonnie, like I said, that she was on the path to find Vegapunk, and she's the one who told us that that we're on Egghead Island, the island of Vegapunk. Now, she also makes a reference to the bounties and Luffy being the emperor, because on the bounty paperwork, it shows Luffy with white hair. With white hair. And Bonnie's like, what the fuck happened to your hair? It's supposed to be white. And Luffy gives us this weird ass statements. Yeah, that's when I'm totally free, man. I can turn white. I'm like,
that is not correct.
There's jokes you can make on this, but I'm not gonna make them. But yeah, it's kind of weird that when he runs into people that wasn't at Wano and they see Luffy, it's gonna be like, nigga, ain't your hair supposed to be white? And it's gonna be a whole discussion about that. Well, not a discussion because Luffy don't even understand, which Luffy has to figure out what he is, or it's just gonna be the weirdest discussion ever every time. And it's crazy because again, Luffy's hanging out with another supernova, which I think Luffy forgot who was on the supernova list, which he of course he had forgotten, but even though Luffy is a supernova, he's way past that power level now. Like, this nigga is like, damn it, I want to say fucking, well, he's a Yonko, so he's at Yonko level. But that having that much, being that far ahead and being a supernova is ridiculous. And just starting out as supernova too.
Here comes that bullshit. What up?
But that wasn't even the biggest thing that happened. The biggest thing we found out that we see Vegapunk for the first time. And I don't know if this is Vegapunk or like a robot or androids talking for Vegapunk, because in multiple instances Vegapunk has always been referred to as a man. He, his, him, all that. And if you look at the girl who calls herself Vegapunk, she has a Punk 2 on her shirt, and a giant robot that saved the Straw Hat Gang had a 12 on his shirt. No, it had a 12 on his shirt, and I forgot what the shark had. But I think it's different instances of Vegapunk making creations for himself, because I feel like Dr. Vegapunk is probably super old and is on his deathbed. And well, I like this. It's a better way I can explain it. This is just like in Bleach, the doctor in Bleach, the Captain Commander, him and his lady, that's his vice captain, is always with him. It's a little like that. How he's like top of like science or whatever, and yeah, and she's like the vice captain, and they just do all this like weird experiments and shit like that. But I think she knows everything that Vegapunk knows, and since Vegapunk might be really on his deathbed and can't give Luffy his full like history lesson that he needs to know about Devil Fruit, because we definitely are in a, well, actually no, we are gonna get it from Vegapunk, because in the SBS that Oda put out, it said verbatim, Dr. Vegapunk will tell us about Devil Fruits. So since we're right at Vegapunk, he might as well fucking tell us. And I think that was it. Yeah, that was it for really One Piece. Us find out that Vegapunk #2 is hot, and the gang split up again, just like Subodi Archipelago. So I guess I don't think the One Piece is on break, so we won't see it until the second week of October. No, it won't. It will be the first week of October, which I should say One Piece for last, so I can lead into the October anime that comes out next time I record a pod. That should be out next time I record. But after One Piece, JJK fully announced. Well, JJK announced in this chapter that Maki is definitely Toji version 2.0, because if it wasn't prevalent before, it's definitely prevalent now. 'Cause I can't breathe. And if I'm not mistaken, if you look at the final panel side by side, it's literally how Naota saw Toji walk in when he first seen him. It's literally the exact same. But this whole chapter was funny. Well, it was funny in the irony, but in totality, it was a great chapter. I liked the chapter, even though it started some power scaling of characters. Even though that happens all the time, it was still cool. What was that? But yeah, the chapter started off with Naota using his domain expansion, which really looks like the female uterus, which is super funny because Naota hates women. But because he hates women, it's also funny that his domain expansions look like the reproductive organs on a woman. So that was just hilariously funny and ironic. So shout out to that person who made that joke.
Bitch ass white boy.
His domain expansion is literally so his father, the nigga that, well, you'll find out in season 2 you see him in season 1 of JJK, but you don't really like have like a full synopsis or conversation with the nigga, not until the war starts in season 2, when he has the power to like stop you by frames, and literally by like you know how you take still frames of a camera and it's like no frames of a movie and it's just chopped it up like that. He can stop you in a frame and like punch you out of it, and it's kind of like that, but instead of slowing you down, he slows your cells down, which like end up like exploding you on the inside, I guess, or chops your arm, or how it did the Katana old man chops his arm off. But in the last bit of the chapter, it's really just the narrator tells us, because Maki has no curse energy at all. She can leave and enter domain expansions as she please. And because that she can walk in and out of domain expansions, that means the surefire hit won't work on her. She's not restricted by any means at all, and she's undetected by your spiritual your spiritual presence is not there, because she has no spiritual energy, so you wouldn't tell that she's behind you. And this is why I feel like they were trying to tell us that she's Toji, because the last panel on how she killed Naota is literally a carbon copy of how Toji killed Gojo. He stabbed him through the chest. It literally hit him looking down at his chest when he gets poked, and he just dies that way. Now she ends up slicing his face when he tries to come at her, and like slices him half and wins. But yeah, they beat Naota, and I think she's now the war god now.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Yeah, he's the war god now. So there that goes. And like I said, they already gave her the look-alike of her. So the look of Toji. So I guess that she's Toji now. I wouldn't say a carbon copy of Toji, but she's the Zenin war god now. And that was the end of JJK. Black Clover didn't come out because of break. My Hero came out, and I think, I already said My Hero that Deku came in and started whooping niggas' asses. But I didn't read anything else because I was backed up on stuff I had to catch up on. I definitely have to catch up on Record of Ragnarok, because I think Beelzebub and Tesla are fighting, and I think Tesla's losing, and I think they're going into the combat capabilities of those boys, so I don't know what they can do. And King and Omega is out, and I think I'm like 2 chapters behind on that one, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Koga has taken the Nico style into his own capabilities, because he has the Fist Eye too, just like Tokagero, the old man that's with Oma. So, and I'm like, is everybody just taking like the Nico style and running with it? Like, I have no beef with it, but like, I thought Oma was gonna be like one of 5 dudes with it, but I guess you can't really say that because this is a whole fleet of Nikos. You have to have it like that, because it's like a fleet of them niggas. And I still want to know if Koga and Ruga are gonna fight, because he has to die. Well, one of them is gonna die, because I think at the end of Kengan Ashura and at the beginning of Kengan Omega, it showed what's that nigga name? Ryua, that he's after the Tiger Cub, and he works he does not work for the worm, but he works for the evil Nico. No. He does. He works for the evil Nico because he's a clone of Oma. Because they keep going back to these. Hey, Oma, your brother is acting wild. Say that's not my brother, and is that clone of that weird nigga, or that weird judo nigga still running around that took that company? Like, there's a lot of motherfucking clones running around. They want to explain that shit because I want to know why the fuck did Oma have a clone in Kangen Ashura. Nigga never even well obviously we're not gonna see it because we never. I don't think there was clones at that time. As a matter of fact, I don't think there was any. Yeah, there wasn't any clones at that time, or even shown at that. So we wouldn't have known that shit was going on. But I definitely want to know what's going on now. But like I said, I really wasn't watching anything this whole. Not watching, reading anything this whole past week. So I think that's it for the manga. I'm going to finish it up with the TV, and I didn't watch nothing besides JJK 0. The rest was just YouTube videos and just me watching reruns of shit. But I might as well go into the JJK 0 and just give you a synopsis. That movie was the shit. Like, that movie was legit the shit. Like, from beginning to end. They made Yuta more of a bitch than I thought he did. Like, initially I was like, honestly, he was bitch made, but like, y'all making it seem like he was the biggest bitch in the school, which in layman's terms, yeah, he was kind of the biggest bitch because he was scared of everything. But I would be scared of everything too if my ex-girlfriend of 5 years old became an evil monster spirit and anybody that fucked with me ended up in like grave injury. And like, not grave as in like, oh, I just got punched in the face. No, like, my face is like caved in when I had almost have no face and like a pool of bloods on the floor. Like, no. So yeah, it made more sense. And it, for the people who didn't read Jujutsu Kaisen 0 or read the season 2 manga of JJK, it's gonna be weird to them because I already seen people saw Ghetto without the scar on his head. And they're like, what? Why is the scars not there? Like, what's happening there, man? Hey, man, why is he acting calling humans monkeys? Like, I'm not spoiling it for people because obviously season 2 is right around the corner. Well, no, not really. It's next year. So, but I'm not gonna go over it and spoil you guys. So watch JJK 0. It's on Crunchyroll. The movie's mad cool. It's mad great, and I loved it. I really did. They made like, but at the end they gave you the like crazy OP-ness. Like, I don't know if he did Black Flash in the manga. I had to relook, but I definitely don't remember it. And like, again, I forgot that Yuta's ability is for him to copy everything. And then I see how freaking they're gonna do Sugura in the flashback because they announced the season 2 of JJK, and they're doing the flashback with the Shibuya art. Now I don't know. Next week I'm gonna get into if they're gonna do like half of the Shibuya and the whole flashback of Gojo. I don't know, because even if they do the whole Shibuya, I don't know if they can do it in 25 episodes because the flashback is going to be at least 5 at the max, 5-6 episodes, and that leaves like 8 or 19 episodes, which you got to do Mechamaru's betrayal, and no, because you got to do the flashback. No, it's the Yuji getting a girlfriend, flashback, Shibuya, the bullshit in Shibuya, Gojo gets captured, and like a ton of fights. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know how they're gonna do it because it's like a ton of, even though it's a ton of fights, there's a ton of shit that also happens. So I don't know what they're gonna do. Really, I really don't. Like, it's gonna be good. I'm gonna check it out, but hey, I'm still gonna watch it. But also, next week starts Oktoberfest for anime, not the Oktoberfest that of the Swedish. Hold on, let me look this up because I don't want to be ignorant or racist.
Nani?
German is a German holiday. Okay, cool. I was right first time. So yes, it's not the German holiday where people drink a lot. It's going to be Oktoberfest of all the fucking anime that is released in October, like relentlessly. But I think I'm gonna call it a day here. Next week is going to be a jam packed full of everything that's of content coming out. So be on the lookout for that next week. Thank you guys for listening and say la vie.
Yeah, that's right.
Easy, why you doing so?
We on cloud time, so spend it how you please. I'm on the run from you right in my fucking dreams. I don't want you to ever leave me, but if you do, I understand, said that's for me. We on cloud time, so spend it how you please. I'm on the run from you right in my fucking dreams. I don't want you to ever leave me, but if you do, I understand, said that's for me. Yeah.